As you know, planning is a very important aspect of the responsibility and role of teachers. Planning is probably the most important aspect. You must know what you're going to do before you walk in that classroom. You must have a game plan, and that game plan must be centered around the idea that you're going to make the students active participants in their learning so they can use their learning, so they can actually experience transfer, so they can use learning or what you teach them to solve a problem, a real world problem that they have now or they may have in the future. So it's very important that we plan and we think about what we're going to do every single lesson, whether it's from a daily perspective or weekly or a semester or unit. However, we always must keep that plan in mind so we can provide quality instruction. Now, with that in mind, we have to ask ourselves, where do we put, or how do we use micro-teaching? Because micro-teaching is not the lesson per se, it's a strategy within a block of instruction to help students understand a point that you're trying to make, understand a skill that you're trying to teach. That's the importance of micro-teaching. Remember, eating the elephant one bite at a time. So where do you put the micro-teaching strategy? Where do you utilize it? Well, you can utilize the micro-teaching strategy at many points in your block of instruction. But before I go there, I want to make sure that you understand that before you, in that planning, you must come up with a theme. Now, this is where cross-curricular education or cross-curriculum learning can be very important to helping students understand all subjects, but more importantly, experience transfer and experience and solve for us the inert knowledge problem. When we are able to work with students, with teachers rather, from all subject matter, all content areas, and under one theme, whether that theme is what makes me happy, or the world is flat, or I'm feeling happy, whatever theme that the students will understand that is compelling for the students, and if all teachers are teaching on a theme, what happens is that helps the students learn not just what you're teaching in your math class or your English class, but it also help the social studies teacher out, it'll also help the art teacher out, it'll also help the math teacher out. And we call that cross-curricular learning throughout the curriculum. So this is very important. So now micro-teaching becomes a very strategic move, right? Where do we put that micro-teaching experience based on a theme in our lesson so our students understand the skill that we're trying to teach them, and then you be able to use that skill in a meaningful way. Now you can micro-teach at any point of the block of instruction. You can micro-teach. You can micro-teach at the warmer, and we know the warmer is the first thing we do in a lesson. So the warmer must be easy, and we can micro-teach that warmer to help start the lesson off on the right foot. So again, the teacher models, and we call that teacher. And then the teacher asks the student to model or reproduce what the teacher modeled. Then now the student becomes the teacher and asks the teacher to reproduce what the teacher modeled. And then the student would then be asked to ask another student to reproduce what the teacher modeled. And then the teacher will moderate or facilitate all the students working together to model what the teacher modeled. During the next couple of videos, I will highlight micro-teaching using my two children. Now, given the recent social distancing requirements, I'm unable to use my university students or my peers. However, my children work just as well. and that they are young learners. It's a little bit difficult with young learners, but they're learners nevertheless, and they can benefit from micro-teaching. The lesson is about where do you live, where are you from? The students are Phoenix and Ray. Phoenix is 3 years old and she will be 4 in August. She's in KG1. And Ray is recently turned 5 years old and he is KG2. And again, the lesson is where do you live, where are you from?